Okay, let's do it. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. I'm Eric. I'm your editor, filmmaker, cinematographer, and just voice in your head for the next couple hours. Potentially, depends if you leave me on mute or put me on in the background. That's totally cool too. Do that. Um, Tonight we are, hopefully, fingers crossed. We are finishing up the first assembly of the first cut of B52, the little Conan Doyle adaptation directed by or written and directed by Elena Critter. So yeah, that's the plan for tonight. We're gonna pick up where we left off. We're gonna look at the work we did last time on Wednesday, and then we're gonna continue on. Like I said, I think we've only got give or take 10 shots left. We do have the very first scene of the movie, which we haven't done yet, which is 3 shots. Mostly because it's mostly establishing stuff, and it's just kind of shots of the house. And I figured it was better to jump. Let's jump into the characters and the actual dialogue rather than start there. Um, but yeah, and also because I think movie beginnings are so important to a film, and in some ways I feel like to start editing at the beginning is to like uh is to okay. Jess, fantastic. Maria Lisa Jess Haddon is on, and she's in all caps engaging in a panty raid. So rock on, Jess. Maria Lisa says hi. Um, anyway, well, okay, so we all know Jess is having the best night. But anyway, yeah, in some ways to, I think to feel like to start with the beginning of the film before you really get the chance to go through the whole thing, you are in some ways missing the, not necessarily missing, but like you run the risk of, yeah, you want to start the movie in a way that matches the rest. So I like to watch everything else and do everything else first. Um, as always, this is an open platform for discussion, for comments, questions, updates on the panty raids, whatever. Huh? All right, we got one vote for panty raid update. So panty raid update. So Jess, make sure you're keeping us covered there. But yeah, so yeah, comments, questions, thoughts, by all means, throw them in there. If you happen to be, if Elena, if you are on this, first of all, I know eventually you're gonna watch, so hi. I think your hair looks really good the way you've got it right now. Um, but yeah, Elena, if you're here, obviously you know can chime in, of course. If any of the cast or crew happen to join in for this the final stream, not the final stream, we're gonna be as we do revisions, we're probably gonna be on here again. But yeah, if any of the cast or crew are around, step in, say hi. Anyone else? Yeah, questions, comments, throw them at us. We do this to share to pull back the curtain on film editing, to share the behind the scenes, and yeah, just open the door to the behind to the this hugely important part of filmmaking that doesn't get the press it deserves. So, uh, with that, we're gonna jump on in back to Adobe Premiere, and Jess Haddon's update is it's a guy, so panty rating a guy, and he voted for Ross Perot. So, yeah, no, taking going back, Ross Perot. That back, there was a time where Ross Perot was the weird political candidate, and man, that's huh. Anyway, um, back to the sane world of murder. Uh, so I will play kind of how we left off through to the end of the scene as far as we got last time, and then I've already made one mark. I'll see if there's any other spots I want to tweak, and then we'll go from there. So here we are. Let's see, this should work.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, the fireworks bit looks weird without the fireworks and the Happy New Year audio.
Shit.
Why did...
I don't know. It just happened.
Shit.
What do we do? What do we do?
We don't do anything. You are on your own. not ask for this.
No, no, you didn't. Arthur, listen. Listen. You didn't ask for this. Take the money.
Go away.
No one is stopping you. I'm not stopping you. Get in, get out, get lucky, right?
Where's the bathroom?
Next door down.
Yeah, okay. I definitely feel like we don't need that second clip there. That's definitely feel like that was over editing. I feel like some of this moments like this, I'm kind of uh like this is the thing. Like we've got a sound guy who's gonna start working on the film once we kind of hit picture lock or hit the moment where we kind of like all right, we kind of know the cuts and the takes we're gonna use and more or less the rhythm. But there's and usually once we kind of get into the sound stuff, that's when we start bringing in the composer. I would love, uh, Elena, when you watch, we should shoot me a text. We'll chat about this because I would love, if we had something from our composer to kind of work on this scene too, because I feel like the music here from the stabbing onto this moment are gonna be it's gonna be so instrumental. Pun unavoidably intended. Um, so I feel like having that would be. Obviously, we'll have the crying going a little bit longer, but yeah, I feel like having the music in here will really help lock in some of the beats. There's a few movies that I can name where they composed good. Okay, cool. Um, but they composed they had some version of the music, whether a full theme or a full score or something, before they started filming. And everything I've heard from the directors who made those movies, it was hugely helpful to have, just because you can, the music is so instrumental. Again, pun, in establishing the tone. And yeah, so okay. So the only thing I really immediately feel like needs to be
Not
tweaked,
ask for this.
um, yeah, the only real immediate change I might.
Why did
Yeah, I feel like most of this plays pretty well. This moment I might overlap a bit.
What do we do?
we don't do?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. That moment I marked as maybe putting some overlaps. Maybe we hear her say the second "What do we do?" over Arthur, and then he says we don't do anything. Again, this is a moment that's like, uh, through conversations with Elena and potentially with our composer, we'll figure out the right rhythm for that moment, whether we want this
We
pause or
don't do
not.
anything. You are on your own.
I'm not Adam. If you watch this, send me a message. Let me know. Post a comment if you were doing this intentionally because you got this timing for like the way like you say your lines
We don't
literally
do anything.
on the
You
flashes.
are on your own.
Like if that was a thunderstorm outside, like it's like every line is dramatic and lightning is striking. Like your timing was spot on for getting the fireworks to hit you on each word.
I did not ask for this.
No, no, you didn't. Arthur, listen.
Also, we didn't talk about this last time, but this shot is so right here, uh, is so supremely important. Um, because we've talked for the longest time, and I think the thing I was worried about here was that I don't know. Actually, I'm on the fence about whether or not we're too subtle with this or not because I'm not sure I would be less subtle with this moment, but um, I'm not sure there's a version where I can. I'm not sure there's a way to make it less subtle other than just keep working on the earlier stuff to set it up. But we've talked so much about Arthur and Madeline having their own sides of the screen. Arthur's on the left and Madeline's on the right. Um, and I'm hoping that that's been established and it comes across that those are the places they're used to being, and that means we're used to seeing certain sides of their face. And then in this moment, when everything starts changing, there's a reason these shots are colored purple, meaning they're kind of not connected to anybody, and this shot is green, is because this is when
No,
Madeline
no, you didn't. Arthur, listen.
Madeline switches them, which is going to be important in a second. So yeah, that was one that this that shot is like I think that happened like that's about as subtle as we can make it. If you've picked up on it, you'll notice that switch. Hopefully, but we like talk about this is props to Elena finding the most dramatic moment to do it so it happens, and if you're paying attention, it happens and you don't necessarily notice it happen, which
No,
is fantastic.
no, you didn't. Arthur, listen. Listen, listen, listen. You didn't ask for this. Take the money.
Also, I love seeing that shot kind of
Listen,
start off
listen,
here and
listen.
then sort of settle
You
into
didn't ask
her.
for this.
Not necessarily intentionally, that was me and her getting into sync as we filmed, but I think that works well. Okay, so we've gone from here. Let's take a look at our next scene, which is literally two shots and might only be one that we end up using. It's also nice to be like, all right, so this whole monstrosity in the workroom. This was the whole rest of the movie or the whole other scene. This, even zoom in. This little bit right here is the scene we're gonna do right now, which is so cute and simple. All right, so we're gonna copy that out of here. We now have a decent amount of space to work, so we're gonna take this. Let's rearrange. Let's clean up the timeline a little bit. So start with pasting that in. There we go. Good. Then we'll take this stuff and we're gonna cut that and move it down to the end here. Again, my apparent inability to delete stuff. I think once Elaine and I have a chance to sit down and go over the film together, I'll start clearing out the rest of the stuff in this timeline. All right, so here's what we got. We're gonna bring these guys down. Try to bring these guys down. That'd be nice. There we go. All right. We're going to unlink them. I'm probably gonna just I might just duplicate, but I don't know if I need to. So then we'll take these and bring them up. Okay. So what we have here, this is one of the few times we shot. Hey, Marie Lisa is waving. This is one of the few times we shot. Actually, I think it's in this movie. It's the only time we did this. We shot the same. We were short on time, and we wanted to make sure we got through this. And there was no reason not to do it. We had two cameras running at once. We have the GoPro and the cinema camera. So hold for T. Actually, I'll just say let's watch these shots, and I'll drink while we do that. Okay, so here we go. So this is the next moment. Literally a scene that might play in a single shot. Let me pull up. First, let me switch these two so we're watching this. We'll watch the same thing correctly. Oh, don't want to do that. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'll pull up Elena's notes. Please hold. Okay, we're back. And the funny thing is, looking back at scene 5, which is here, here, and there, and there are 4 panels of scene 5, and then we get to scene 6, and it's just this. Okay, so um, yeah, it's all Arthur washing his face. Uh, yeah, first one is um, we say shots A B because they're shots A and B. Yeah, we ended up using. I guess we labeled that A B, and this should be C. But anyway, um, yeah. So Arthur washes his face. Great. First take was great. Second take is good. First take is great. Second one left a glove behind. Okay, so Elena kind of likes take one to overtake two. Let's take a look. Come on, there we go. And save and play.
Cameras are rolling.
Zakar?
6A and B, take one.
And we're gonna move a little bit with him on this one.
Sure.
Frame.
And action.
Okay, overall not bad.
Cut.
Camera rolling.
Cameras are rolling.
Zakar?
6A and B, take two. Frame.
Action.
I'm realizing I should have used a more directed light than I did. Okay, so that's the two takes from that angle. Let's look at them from the up from above. The GoPro, which we established before. Let me go ahead and fix that so I get the right size here. That's all. Here we go. That's be this shot, I think. Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to actually, if I just click here and I copy, and we come down to what we're working on down here, which is right this. Take this, and I paste the attributes, not the opacity, just the motion. Oh, flipped it. I forgot we flipped that shot. Okay. So that should be, let's set to 0. Might tweak that if I need to. Set this back to 0. Cool. And then I can also adjust it kind of to there. I'll probably zoom this in a little bit more if we end up using one of these takes, just because the framing is a little bit. Oop, nope, undo that. Go here. Framing's a little bit wonky just by virtue of the space we were in. Here we go. Let's watch them.
Cameras are rolling.
Zakar?
6A and B, take one. And we're gonna move a little bit with him on this one.
Sure.
Frame.
And action.
Yeah, I should use more directed light.
Cut.
Camera rolling.
Cameras are rolling. Frame.
Action.
Yeah, I like that the shot really traps Arthur in the corner, but I don't know. In terms of my ideal overhead shot, it's not giving me what I want in terms of what I'd want it to show. Yeah, I think my thought here is I think I'm gonna stick with the main just the main camera on this. I think we get it's better and it's the overhead shot doesn't quite get where I want it to get. It does give us that trapped feeling, but it doesn't get us exactly what I'm looking for. And it also like we can overthink this. I don't want to gild the lily. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to start when the water kicks in. We're gonna use the first take. I think the first take is slightly better. Uh, See a little more connection with Arthur there. Yeah, I like that choice. I like the choices. Like the choices in this one. We've talked in the past about this project with the the one of the major talents actors have that doesn't get talked about enough is their ability to make clear, concise choices, so that you not only it feels like they are. Yeah, I mean, like, man, how many of us think about what our behavior is conveying, uh, kind of on a day-to-day basis, and actors do it professionally, and just the ability to clearly convey with behavior how they're feeling and what they're thinking is beautiful and beautifully difficult. And Arthur does it so well, or Adam does it so well here. I think this first take succeeds on that level. Cool. All right, so we'll put a cut there. I don't know how long this needs to be. Let's delete that. Let's save the project. Let's bring this back here. I don't know how long this needs to be. I'm going to leave the whole thing in for now. I am going to overlap this a little bit. Pull the audio back. I'm going to bring this all down to here. So we get a little bit of that. And then we feel like that's louder than it needs to be. I'm turning that down a little bit for you guys. Actually. Okay, cool. So I think that works. I'm going to turn this down a little bit more for you guys anyway. Um, and yeah, that's a moment that'll be tweaked in terms of pacing, in terms of do we need this whole thing to be in there as long as it is. We'll have a fade in, I'm sure. And I actually really like I like that it's a hard cut. I think that's important. Um, and I also like that it's a hard cut from her center frame to his reflection center frame more than anything else. To him, yeah. So your eyes are looking more or less in the same spot. We also had a bit of a thing early on with the when they walked through the dining room that we saw Arthur reflected in the mirror. Um, and so that kind of bookends what's going on. And I like that we're cutting from her tears to the water in the sink. I think this is a all these things make me like this shot, make me prefer this shot and this transition. All right. So he then heads out, and I like that. Let's delete this. Let's clean a little bit off of that. Cool. All right, that's scene 6. Good job, team. Jess, how's that panty raid going? All right. And now, once again, like the monster of scene 5, the little snack of scene 6, and on to the finale of scene 7. So we're going to copy that, bring it back to the assembly cut, and we're going to paste. We're going to undo that paste. We're going to move this fake color grade away, and then we're going to paste like that. There we go. Cool. So once again, we have Elena notes, which we're going to look at after we delete all of the camera audio, as is demanded by God. All right. Delete that. Yeah, we are rearranging the coffee table, which is a very sacred and important practice. She agrees. Okay. That's a shot of a door. Not hugely important. Okay. Well, hugely important to the scene, but not hugely important in the moment. All right, we're going to save. Let's bring up. Here we go. Let's look at scene 7. Here we go. Let's see. Do we include the? I'm not sure we include 7A. Get included back with scene 4? No, it didn't. Okay, so 7A is just. Oh, there it is. Um, we like take 2 of that. I can agree with that one. And then we'll look at this. First shot here is a. We thought we might remember this. We did this. We had this shot in the had this shot before with them going up the stairs. Now we have it again coming down. Oh, I really only have one. I've got. I don't know if this is coming through. I've only got one ear of this because it's a mono track. Not that it matters. This is all sound effects anyway. Oh, turn that back on. There we go. Pause. Play. Okay, not bad. Um, let's see. I honestly, let me take a look. I'm just looking at the matching his energy from leaving on the last take. Let's take a look at these and compare the two. Um, also worth noting when he came upstairs before. Let me. When he came up the stairs before, we flipped this shot upside down, so they were or sort of upside down. It's looking down, so we just kind of rotated it 90 or 180 degrees. So they were crossing from like left to right as they came up the stairs. In this case, we're continuing the story. Now we're going this way, so this shot being upside down or being flipped the other direction, I don't think is a bad thing. All right. Select, we get that shadow. We'll delete that as well. Pull that back a bit. Yeah, a little bit of a change there, but that's fine. All right, let's take a look at the second take. Put the cut there. Delete all of that. Bring this down and go until he clears. Cut and delete. Let's watch these both. Not that. Just watch them both in context. Here's the first one. Okay. I'm going to pull this back a bit video-wise, and then come back a little bit to about there, I think. Let's put a cut. A little bit of sound tweaking that can work. Okay, not bad. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at the second take. Let's pull that back so it actually plays correctly. Here we go. Save. Really quickly make sure we're doing the right thing here. I'm on the fence about these. I really not sure which one of these I like better. I'm gonna go with the second one. I think the second one. I think the speed works pretty. I'm gonna keep them both here for now because I want to get the next shot lined up and see if it matters. But I think I'm leaning toward the second. I'm leaning toward the one that's a little bit faster. Let me check something real quick. I feel like this thing is messing with me proxy wise. Let's see. Vision audio. Matter what scene. Let's look at scene 7. Hit me up. Let's see proxies. Come on, give me reveal and explore. What are you gonna give me? Ah, interesting. Those should be. Tell you to reveal this one in Explorer. Alright guys, give me 1 second. I want to reattach the proxies on this. It might be why this whole thing's skipping a little bit. So, be right back. Sorry, testing some stuff out real fast. Okay, I think we're good now. We're in better shape than we were anyway. There we go. Cool, okay, so we got that. Let's take a look at the next bit. Let's see, coming up here. Tries to find his way out. Good parts beginning, sound ending. Okay, so we like take 3 of shot B, which is a dolly shot. Let's go ahead and watch that because that's kind of our master. I know to say that's. Let's take a look here. Because now we're about to see how this ending goes. So here we go. Play.
How's the car?
7B, take 1.
All right, to one.
Roofs.
Had a couple of dolly shots in this scene.
Camera F1. Set.
And action. Help! Murder! My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
Yeah, that's how this movie goes.
Oh, fuck.
Cut.
Cut.
Rolling.
Camera rolls.
That's how the movie ends.
7B, take 2.
One.
Back to 1.
Here we go. Let's do it again.
And action.
I lost focus there a little bit.
Oh, fuck.
Cut.
All
Camera
right,
roll.
take three.
7B, take 3.
Listed as Elena's favorite.
2-1.
Oh,
Cut.
It's a fun ending.
Roll. 7C, take 1. Yep. Frame.
Can't love that lighting anymore.
Cut. Camera roll.
C, take
7C,
two.
take 2.
Good beginnings. Internet throughout.
Frame.
Yeah, beginnings are good. I like the.
Cut.
We've got a specific shot for when she says murderer at the end, so we've got that moment.
7C, take 3.
Uh, so right now I'm watching for the beginning, and man, that's what a pose.
Frame.
What a power pose there. Yeah, I like the beginning. I like the beginning of that take really well. Those. Let's listen to this one. Oh, pretty good. I think I like that third take. The best, first or third, I think, are where I'm at right now. So let's keep those around. Let's see what else we got. So we shot a good amount of coverage. This is another scene we more or less shot everything as a master. Let's see notes on this. This is shot D. Dolly close one Arthur. We like take three. Has the exclamation point. Yeah, focus was a little soft on this on one of these. I remember that.
Cut. Camera roll. Cool. 7B, take 2. Frame.
That one's pretty good coming in. He doesn't quite hold for the like doesn't quite hold for the perfect beat, but it's pretty good.
7D, take
Oh yeah, that's unquestionably the best one. That one just everything works on that one. Keep it. Moving on. All right, we got these shots of the door. We're gonna take a look at. This is supposed to be the ending. I might use this a little bit earlier. This is supposed to be when the door opens on him. The idea is that he's yeah, with the door right in front
Roll
of him
camera.
opens, and we've been using the light from the like every time someone comes in the room or opens the door, we've been using a whole lot of light spilling out. Arthur's always been, managed to hide behind walls or behind desks to avoid it, but this time it washes right over him. So the thing we've been visually avoiding the whole time is kind of what we use as our ending.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Two, technically. And action. Cut. Roll camera.
Not bad.
G.
Let's take a quick look here at Elena's notes, which is she didn't even mark notes on the door. That's fair.
Take two. Quiet on set. And action. Cool. All right. Keep rolling. We're gonna do it one more time. Sinking. Yeah. And action. Beautiful. Cut.
Okay. Let me undo that other delete. Let me look at this real fast. Nah, doorknob's moving too much. Okay, let's look at this one.
Action.
That's got the same problem with the doorknob moving too much. This person's not trying to unlock the door, they're just opening it. So, take 3 is the one to use.
Roll camera. G. Take two. Quiet on set. And action.
And we'll cut that before we see. I think that's Sakar's hand there.
Action.
Yeah, so we'd cut that, delete that, bring this down. Let's look at this one here.
Action. Yeah. And action. And
I'm cutting this a little bit early for my own personal reasons.
action.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Cool. Just delete that. Let's bring this down. Put a cut there. I'm going to use this shot minus the audio. Yes, okay, cool. So let's take this. I think the second one's the better one to go with here, so we're going to save that. And I think we have 4 takes of, yeah. Third take is Elena's best. I think that's true, but let's watch it. Come on, Premiere. There we go. I think you just saved. We'll do it again. Here we go. So, come on.
Zakar? 7H take 1. And action.
Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
Focus was a little soft on that one. I'm going to delete that. I don't even want to think about it. Nah, it's actually pretty good. With that red light behind her and the shadows coming. Oof, man, I love this.
Camera roll.
Zakar?
7H take 2.
And
And action. Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
That one's good. Really like that one.
cut.
And action.
Also, I want to talk for 1 second about the way Elena said action right there, because there's a misconception that like, because most of the time when you see behind the scenes clips of a scene happening, uh,
Murderer!
before she blinks, when you see behind the scenes of a scene happening on a film set, usually the stuff they want to show you is the big bombastic, like, the action scenes or the explosions or something. So you usually have, you're seeing the director there in a seat with a big megaphone yelling action. Um, and so that's a lot of people's preconceived notion of how action is supposed to go. I have found personally that um, that saying action is like it's as a director, it's kind of your like your final chance. Not that you should have done that this work should have been done, but it's your chance to sort of set the energy for where the actors are going to start. Um, so there's like so I'll get big and yell action, or I'll say action real fast if we're doing a if it's if we're doing a scene that's like is a fight scene or a scene that we need movement, we want to get everyone hyped up and just get the energy going. Okay, here we go, camera rolling, ready and action. Like I'll do that kind of thing. But for a lot of it, for quieter scenes and for moments that don't need that, or for moments that are emotionally charged, your best bet is to stay quiet. And the way Elena just kind of we get the shot set up, we're ready, we settle in, and then Elena just quietly goes, and action. Like just goes very quiet and action, like very smooth, very easy. Um, it's a very gentle handoff of the scene to Annabelle here, and that's I think is a really good way to do that. Um, because yeah, she's in this emotional place, and we don't want to interrupt that by yelling action or by getting big with action. There's a great clip, which the title is total clickbait, but it's a late night TV interview with Tom Hanks, and it's titled "Clint Eastwood treats actors like horses," and the I don't know, the clickbait of that is like, oh my God, Clint Eastwood thinks actors are cattle, blah blah blah, and I mean, Hitchcock actually said that. Well, Hitchcock, Hitchcock has said this, then clarified it later, where he says, I didn't say actors were cattle. I said actors should be treated like cattle. Like that's it. That's an actual Hitchcock quote. Um, Clint Eastwood, uh, for all his other failings, he is. I mean, he started with spaghetti westerns. He started doing those western action movies where if a lot of the work depended on horses, and if you are getting everything going, then you get on a megaphone and yell direction and yell action. Um, you could spook the horses, and if you spook the horses, well, then you got to stop the take so you can get the horses back under control. So on the spaghetti western movies, when they had horses around, I guess kind of just became the standard. Is they'd get everyone ready, and they'd say action very quietly, so as not to spook the horses. And apparently, that is how Clint Eastwood still works with people. That he's not, he'll just, he's not makes doesn't make a big production of it. He rolls the camera, he'll walk up to you, be off shot, and be like, okay, action, and let you do your thing, and he'll like, all right, cut, let's do it again, let's try this, action. Like he's very gentle with it, and I think uh that's a good choice. A lot more often than not, being gentle with action is a better choice than getting loud about it.
7H, take 3.
There are times to do it. For the most part, I think you're better off like this.
Frame and action.
My husband. Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
Yeah,
I like
that
that.
one's so good. That one's really like neck and neck with the other one. I think this one's probably the better take of the two.
Action.
Cool. Let's clear out that space. Let's watch the last take.
Wait, sound rolling? Rolling.
Camera roll.
Zakar?
7H, take 4.
Frame and action.
My husband. Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
Yeah, we don't come into focus there until it's too late. Let's stick with these two. We've got two really good takes. Okay, cool. So now, all right, let's see. What's this? This is her coming down and saying someone murdered my husband, which is good. Let's keep that over here. You can't super tell. Just uh, can't super tell in this. But as I recall, we did actually put fake blood on her a little bit, so it's not super essential to the scene to see it. And it's not. Uh, we'll see once we get into color grade if I can make it pop out and read a little more. Um, but if we don't get it, that's not the worst thing in the world. But I do think as a character beat, it's really interesting that that there's blood on her because there wasn't when she stabbed him, which means Madeline up there in the bedroom like took Robert's blood and smeared it on herself to come down for this moment. I think that's it's a really cool character choice. I don't think it's not. It certainly like doesn't change how this scene plays out. It's not a make or break moment for this final beat, but it is like I don't know. It's a good bit of what we call fridge horror of just like we don't draw attention to it. It's a detail that's not really necessarily played up, but then if you notice it and you realize the only way for that to get there is if she did that. It's like, oh man, I didn't hit me at the time, but it hits later that you realize hits later. Anyway, let's continue. All right, so we're gonna watch these. We're gonna cut off the cut the short ends off the beginning end of these takes, and we're gonna start putting it together.
And action.
There you go. So slightly bigger yelling action on that take, just because there's more moving pieces going on.
Action.
Cool. As soon as he starts moving, let's delete the.
And action.
As he's moving, there we go. Cool. Let's delete that. Bring this one down here so we can use it. This as well.
Frame.
And action.
There we go. Movement. Good. All right. All right, so I know there's going to be a cut in here somewhere for a couple of reasons. One, I think this is part of this thing I should have shot and didn't, and I'm a little peeved at myself. Um, there's no other footage of this, is there? You know, actually, I got a couple of options here. I got an idea. Let me try something. This is something I love about editing. I've talked about editing many times as giving you the ability to reshape a lot of stuff. Uh, I have a thought. So these were out of order, so it'd be this one. Cool. Oh wait, that door's open. Darn it. Never mind. Can't use it. All right, back to this. Did we really not? Where's the actual scene here? That's coming down the stairs. This is all coming down the stairs. Okay, there's the shot we should have gotten. Happens more often than you think. I'm actually impressed how few shots and few times in this film I've thought that we should have had. There's additional shots we should have had. Um, like if I'm thinking back to everything we've edited, I think I can think of maybe two occasions where there's additional shots that might have been helpful, but really not many. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a little bit of a zoom on this. I'm gonna go to 115. I'm also gonna adjust the rotation. Go. The rotation's a little much to begin with. That's fine. Yeah, the one thing we don't have here that I do wish we'd shot. Did we really not? I feel part of me feels like we did shoot this and I just didn't. I just don't have it on here. You know, let me pull up the footage and check real fast. Check it to make sure I'm not missing anything. Uh, B52 production footage. This was day two. It was the end of day two. So it'd be stuff in here. Oh, hang on, that's the bathroom scene, isn't it? Let me pull this over. Oh, my computer doesn't want to play this. Okay. Right, because I shot it. I shot in a format that VLC doesn't love. Okay, so I close that. Give me one sec, guys. I got VLC flashing up at me. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, because I sworn I shot something on something like this just early on in the shot, but in the scene. But we'll start with this. Make sure I'm not see if I'm missing anything later. Uh, but I'm gonna use this as a. The one thing we don't really have is that we should have gotten um, is some kind of like point of view of Arthur where we see what he's heading towards. We see that the door is important. Uh, so we can do that here. We can use that clip here. All right, Elena's notes on these first shots were good in some good parts in beginning, sad ending, better sad ending, best, all walks are good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is look at this for focus and for pacing. Here we go. All right, we see her foot kind of early, which I don't totally love. Focus is not bad. He steps over there for a sec. All right, actually, real quick, I know I have to use the end of the last take.
Oh, cut. Cut. Cut.
Two of them hold right there really well.
Cut.
We're gonna put a cut there. We're gonna remove the audio. Back to here. Actually, did I go too far? Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Cool. So I think we cut there. Yeah, I think we're gonna use the ending of this one just because just it's got the best shadow work. It's a good frame. I might crop this in a little bit. Um,
Murderer!
she says murderer. Cut to here. I'm actually starting to. I might actually piece this scene together backwards because it makes some of my choices are easier there. Because there's some real good stuff later. Okay, let's see. Where's the door? Here's this one. We liked this. So we'll cut that and move it down. Paste. And hang on. So we're going to put a cut there. That's our ending. Let's see. Let's take that. Let's take the video out of that. Let's put the audio back here. Move it in a little bit. Can even layer these in together here.
Oh.
showing that opening a little bit there might be enough. Pull that back. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Move this up. Yeah, definitely want this a tiny bit earlier. Yeah, this moment doesn't need to. This moment can be quick. It can be quicker. Let's delete that. We can probably pull this back a good bit. Cool. That looks pretty good in terms of an ending. Let's see, I think I'm going to crop this in a little bit. Let's go 120. This balance a little bit more. Something like that. Actually, hang on. Let me put the guides back on. All right, hang on. If I reset this, it does actually have her pretty centered. I might actually stick with this for now. Because keeping her centered, I think is good. Technically, in the script, it cuts off at the doesn't. He doesn't finish the word fuck. It cuts off the kind of the Actually, let me try something. This might be pretty funny. If I cut it there and just have. I actually kind of like that. I kind of like that we cut the audio, we cut the video on halfway through fuck, and then we have the k as the at the very end. So I might actually keep it to here. I like it where it was. We'll see. That's a slight deviation from the script, so we'll see what Elena says. All right, so now I know we got to go to the shot of where she says murderer, which would be these guys. Let's take a look at them. How you doing, baby? She's good, guys. It's great. You can come say hello. There she is. Surprise. She hides. She does give hugs. She does that too. I love you. Okay. Uh,
Someone murdered my husband! Murderer! Someone murdered my husband! Murderer! Murderer! Murderer!
yeah, I think it's a third take there by a nose, especially the ending.
Murderer!
So let's cut this ending off here. Let's bring this over. So let's see how this plays. Yeah, I'm completely building the scene from the end.
Husband! Murderer! Murderer!
Let's cut that back a little bit let's kind of do that here. Delete all that. This should absolutely be quick. Oop. Yeah, this should absolutely be as fast as possible because she's screaming murder. There's no reason for pauses.
Murderer!
Oh.
Yeah, I like that. Something about that I like. Need a little room tone afterwards. We got that. All right, let's look at our shot of Arthur. Kind of that close up, that push in on him. Where did that shot go? Is it here? Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, we just have the one. Cool. Again, makes it easy when you narrow it down. You're like, this is one take we know we like. That's what did I just do? Let's move this away. We'll take this one. I'm gonna definitely switching up, not switching up, but moving the audio around. So the audio in this one doesn't matter.
My husband! Someone murdered my husband!
I don't want to cut. I want to cut this kind of right before it actually. Let's see, before it actually stops.
Murderer! Murdered my husband! Murderer! Someone murdered my husband! My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
Cool. So I'm gonna try not to overcut this moment. In terms of like I could because we did run everything in masters, but
My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
yep, scrolling too much. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good beat there.
My husband! Someone murdered my husband!
So now I can just I can cut off the video to that point. Can keep the audio.
My husband!
We can have this little gasp in there as a means of transition, so we don't have to match up lines.
Someone murdered my husband!
And we kind of get,
Someone murdered my husband!
yeah, we get moving in on him, then moving in on her. And in this spot, we've talked about matching kind of head sizes throughout this, and here, like, we start here where we're in this kind of this wider shot, and we're moving in on him into a good close up, and then when we cut to her, I know it's kind of shrill cutting back. When we cut to her, she's got her face is about the same size as his, and then she kind of continues the movement
My husband! Murderer!
into that extreme close up, which is great. Like it's almost it's literally it's a kind of a passing of the not some passing of the baton, passing of the energy, passing of something. Which, going back to that shot upstairs where she switches places with him on the way out, and she literally is putting him in her place, which is uh like we've set up where the two of them are. We set up whose place is on which, and then at the end she puts him in. She moves him into the place she was in. She moves him into her place, which then she then does textually by framing him at the end. So it's all these are marks of good direction and good film direction. Because you don't really there's similar things you can do on stage, but this kind of control and this kind of setup is is very film, and this is a mark of good film blocking and film uh, character movement. All right, so we got two more shots to kind of piece together. Minus, let's see, that's the other door opening. I don't know if we need that at the moment. No, I don't think we do. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. All right, what do we got here? We got two takes of her coming down and saying it, but I think we'll start with this. We'll start with these shots here. Uh, let's make sure we've cleared off everything. So here we go.
Someone murdered my husband!
Okay, not bad. I don't like seeing her waiting there as much. I don't think I'm sure I'm not sure take one's exactly the take to go with. Though maybe the beginning. Let's look at the beginning here. Nah, because we see her more clearly on the steps. I think take one's a little bit out for this one. Let's work on two and three.
Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
I think take three is kind of where it's at right now. Yeah, I think take three. Hang on, yeah, I gotta go into the take where I see her the least. I think, and then so I think here when he steps to the side, she's still. You know what? Take it back. I think take two might be the one. Because I looking at it now, that like as I look through these and kind of try to judge them on all the different criteria, this one I think I'm liking here. I might do a different beginning, but I like that we see her standing there waking, and then we see more of a body language change with her when she stands there and then she starts moving, and it's more of a choice, and I like that. The focus is a little soft, and I don't like that. Let me full screen this just to get a better view. That's not bad. It's a little soft, but not too much. That's not bad. Let's take a look at this one. I want to see if that focus is actually as soft as it looked like it might be. All right, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it might be. You know what? I think I'm going with take two. I think take two is where I'm gonna go here. Let's just start. Let's see. Yeah, we see her foot come in, but we're sticking with him. Let's see. You know, I might just start this scene off with that shot of the door handle getting closer. I might just start off like that. Just that little bit to show what we're heading towards. We can remove that. We're just stick with it at 5. I think this rotation right. Let's go to 116. Should cover that. That looks good. And then we'll do kind of 120 T 30. Make that bigger. We can go for a bigger zoom there. Go to 144. I'm going to do some positioning though, because I want to position this the same, and bring this up high as I can so it's pretty centered. There we go. Let's try it like that. How much of this can I adjust before I start getting in trouble? That much. Cool. So plays like this. The stabilization should help. Cool. So he's heading for the door. So that would play in right after this, because he doesn't really. Usually I want to. Usually I want to cut on things that are like related to him, or relate that are motivated by the characters. In this case, he doesn't. He's not looking. He doesn't really look at the door. So having that push in might be enough. I don't know if we need it, but it might be enough. Let's see. Okay.
Murdered my husband!
That's a different take, so we're going to take that, we're going to cut that, and put that in the RHSC, because it's a great take, it's just not the one for us. Back into here. We're going to move all this into the middle space, and we're going to move this down. Just start putting this together. Okay, so we think we were landing on take 3. No, we were landing take 2. Take 2 is what we were landing on. So let's take 3 off. So we start like this. You know what? Gut instinct says. Um. All right, my gut instinct says let's not use any of these. And Elena, when you watch this, or if anyone watching now wants to chime in and say they think they add something hugely important, it's possible. Like, but just, I'm going with my gut in this moment right now, and I don't. My thought is we're better off not having that and going straight from the bathroom to downstairs. Starting just with the walking. Come on. Actually, there's a question. Let me check something real quick. Did I put proxies on this one? Yeah, okay, there's proxies on it. Anyway, can I do a proxy reveal? I can. Yeah, we're in the proxy. Yeah, alright, there's a proxy that exists for it. Okay. Here we go. Premiere, I'm not sure why you're having trouble with these shots. Or this shot specifically. You gonna work? We gonna play? There we go. Maybe. Cool. Gets him to look. She says help. We then cut to the shot of her saying, "My husband, someone murdered my husband," which then uh, becomes our.
Someone murdered my husband!
Yeah, becomes that shot, which gets us to murderer. All right, let's take a look at literally just the ending. There's the
Help!
yeah, get her the wailing widow coming down covered in blood.
Murder! My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Someone...
Something like that. So we'll be using that clip, or we'll be using this one.
Murder! My husband! Someone murdered my husband! My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Murder! My husband! Someone...
I like that. That feels like yeah, that feels more. I don't think of the exact word for what that feels like. It feels more real. Feels more tragic.
Murder!
Let's cut that there. See if we can get that.
Murder! My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Murder! My husband! Someone murdered my husband!
Actually, cut this a little bit shorter. I'd rather see her.
Murder! My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
The only thing I think I might add here is a tiny bit more of. Come on. Thank you, Premiere. Tiny bit more of this clip. Just the ending of it. Because we didn't run this till the door opens, I don't think. I think we might have run it till he looks. That could actually work as our transition moment. That we'd cut kind of halfway across as his face turns. Because we did talk a lot of when we worked on this scene of that, like at the end he's kind of, he's not even necessarily upset, it's just kind of impressed that she would pull this off. And he's like, there was nothing else you could do. So we put this cut here visually. Bring this down.
Murderer!
Yeah, you know what? I like that.
My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Murderer! Murderer!
I'm gonna give a little more of a push in there. I'm gonna take this, let 150 be the final note. I'm gonna go to 142. Just a little bit of movement there. Cool. Save. Alright, let me quickly check. Just looking at those other takes of Arthur looking back at her. I want to check just those beats real fast. That's the wrong scene. Over here. Just for that ending.
Murderer! My husband! Murderer! My husband! Murderer!
Let's see.
Murderer! Murderer!
You know what? That first take might be the better one to use for this moment. So we're going to put a cut there. Oop, not delete. Not cut. We're gonna do that. We're gonna take until his face moves. We're gonna take that. We're gonna take this one. We're gonna copy it back into the assembly cut. Because I like this take has that little bit, tiny bit of a smile on it, and I like that. All right, so as usual, unlink. Move this all up. We're gonna take this shot. We're gonna pull that back. Let's see, how long is it supposed to be? Okay, just it's barely shorter. That's not a problem. All right, same deal. We're gonna go from one. Come on. We need to go to scopes. Let's stick with this. Let's go to 140, 14D, 140 to 150. Good. All right. Cool. I think if I pull this back, make it front to back, that'll work. That's almost perfect. Yep. Maria Lisa's sorting out games and now is holding up random Cards Against Humanity cards to me. Oh, she bought a Christmas pack or a seasons pack. So I can actually pull this audio back to here. Needs to cover a gap if I need to. Alright, so this shot kind of has her eyeline right at the top of the frame, so we're going to do the same with him. Though her face is the whole frame. I think we should probably do that for this one. I might break my rule here in terms of how far you can zoom in, because I would like this to be. I get a 200. Am I gonna get? Yeah, that's pretty close to what I actually want this to be. So 200. And we'll take this. And we'll make this one. I don't know, 175. So
Oh.
yeah, you're kind of spoiling yourself for what those cards might have in the game if you're reading them now. Oh yeah, no, the AI pack is the artifact. It's the ones that, yeah, we let a bot play 1,000 hours of Cards Against Humanity, and this is the game that it came up with. Yeah, that was the original one. That's going to the redheaded stepchildren section. All right, paste. All right, here we go. Stop reading them. You're messing with you're ruining the surprise for you mid game. Sure, why not? All right, so let's watch this scene real fast.
Murder! My husband! Someone murdered my husband! Murderer!
Oh.
And we cut off. That's pretty good. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic shot there. Cool. Okay, good night. Love you too. Marie Lisa says good night, and that you guys are all friends. All right, so now let me put that whole moment together. I select this whole thing. Oh, that's annoying. Let's go back to here. Yeah, Shelby Lynn also enjoys reading the Cards Against Humanity cards before playing. That ruins the surprise. I'll die on this hill. You're you're sacrificing you're indulging a small, a small laugh to and missing a big one because those cards are funny by themselves, but they're funnier in context. Premiere, we're gonna have a talk about this. I'm gonna figure that out in a sec. Figure out this movement thing in a sec. 'Cause I want to I'll move all my markers at the same time that I move my clips. So I'll work on that. Okay. Let's do some quick color coding here. That's an Arthur shot, and then let's see. So this shot is color-wise. Let's see, label is green because that's a Madeline shot. Uh, this shot is supposed to be an Arthur shot, so it can stay blue. This shot is a Madeline shot. Uh, I think the rest of these are almost all Madeline shots except for the door. And the last shot's a Madeline shot. Label and green. Okay, cool. That's true. Yeah, Shelby, you are better for not going through every possible combination and kind of pre-playing the game. At the same time, doesn't make you the good guy here. Just because you're not the worst. Ah. But yeah, no, that's pre-playing the game. I think is absolutely missing the point. Um, I knew somebody who dated a guy who uh hated surprises. Um, to the point that when he went to see a movie, he would before he watched the movie, he would go on Wikipedia and read the plot summary so that he wouldn't be surprised by anything that happened. And I'm just like, you have. I get that not everyone likes surprises, but to spoil stories for yourself and to spoil movies for yourself so that you don't, uh, so that nothing in a storyline surprises you, to lock yourself away from that, to me, it's just. I don't know. To me, that comes across as a almost like borderline self-abusive. Okay, like Uh, and the importance of stories is a hill I will die on. All right, one more scene to do. We got to put the beginning together. What on earth is this audio? Oh, it's out. Oh, it's outside tone. Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. We're gonna grab these shots for this scene. I'll leave outside tone to be worked on later, because I am in charge of picture right now and not sound. And paste. Okay, so let's work on scene one. The very first scene, which is a collection of 3 shots and fairly straightforward, though important. So we unlink and we get. I'm going to keep the camera audio on there for the moment, not that, and we'll come back to it. Okay, we can finally put our shot list away. In terms, not away, but we can put the rest of the pages away. 10-page shot list that can be dropped in. We're going to look at just the first scene here. These first couple, most of these shots are Arthur shots. Let's see, that's the moon. This shot here is a Madeline shot. Also, I've got these close-ups of the moon. I'm not sure I'm going to use them because I have A, I can get better shots of the moon now. And B, I don't know if right now I don't know if it's helping. I think what I will need to do if we want to include a moon shot, and I don't know if we need it. Honestly, it's B-roll. Is I'll wait for a night that's where I've got a little bit of cloud coming over the moon, so it's not or I get a shot through trees. This was this is pretty, and there certainly are there's you can sort of see branches in the way of the moon. If I zoom in here, like I am sort of shooting through a tree, but it's not super obvious. It is also kind of cool that you can sort of see if I go to 75%, uh, you can sort of see the shape of the moon that is in shadow, and that's like it's always you know obviously the moon is always a globe and always there, but just it's kind of cool to see very lightly be able to differentiate that. Back to this. So I'm not sure I'm using those shots. I will put them aside. I will just take them out of here because I've got them. Okay. So our first shot is the house here.
MOS. Call it.
This is shot 1A, take 1.
Shot 1A, first shot of the movie.
Frame. Party goers, start moving. Honestly, guys, just kind of walk back and forth in front of those windows.
Really
Yeah.
walk back and forth like
Listen to us. This is so the way we did this is we set up lights in the windows here, and we told our extras and stuff to just move back and forth in front. Like, that's the thing you can hear. You can hear us on the
Yeah,
phone with
that's good.
everybody.
Yep. Even. All right. Scale.
and action.
20%.
All right,
That's good. Yep.
and action.
All right, so we cut that there. We use that take. Delete. Cool. We cut that there. All right, pull this back. We've got more coverage at the end of this. This shot is really just establishing.
1.
Party goers, action.
like right there. I think this would be the cut.
Rolling camera. Partygoers action.
Now, obviously, we're taking the sound off of all of this, so go ahead and let's put a cut there.
And action.
That action is her telling Adam when to go. I think this shot's better. We're gonna go with the second take of this. Did we get a third take? We did. Okay, this third take might be better. Let's take. Oh no, that's the end of the take. Okay, yeah, we only did. Yeah. So I think first take or second take's the better one to go with. So let's bring that over here. This is the end of the take is pretty good. But does he ever cross in front of that window? He does. Okay. So we'll stick with this. Okay. Put that out for a sec. Let's go back. Let's go to the next one.
Camera rolls.
No sound. This is shot 1C, take 1.
Oh, hell, you know, we got shot 1B. Let's go to B first, which is over here. Now, shot 1B is supposed to be shot from the window above. So
Hold still. Plating. 1B, take 1. Good. Frame. Cut.
yeah, we'd probably come in right about there. Or even here, depending. There's a couple options. Then we see Madeline cross the frame there. So we'll delete the end of that. Let's try this. Let's look at the second take. This puts Adam more on the side of the, or Arthur more on the side of the frame he's supposed to be on, which is good. This one has him kind of, yeah, he's more. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that's a better take, definitely. Let's cut that. Madeline says early on she saw him from the tree line. This is that moment. So look at this last take here. That's save.
Partygoers move.
Frame.
Action. Lights off. Cut.
Cut.
Nice. Yep.
Camera rolls.
Good take.
1C, take 3. Partygoers move.
Frame.
Action.
Annabelle lights.
Let me watch these muted and see what I notice one way or the other. Let me look at Elena's notes here. Going back to scene 1. Let's see. So we like take 2 better. Lights are slow there. I can agree. Shaky camera. That's tweakable. Cool. So let's watch these again. Arthur comes in there. Almost there, folks. Last shot. I think take two. I think take two is the one to go with. I'm gonna put this in the RHSC. Take one in the RHS. I guess technically take two and take three because we didn't cause take one we didn't like. But I think take three is the one to go with. It's gonna get dropped in the RHSC. I gotta move everything forward a little bit now because I want this to, yeah, this to be scene one. Back to the cut. All right, I think we have, what's this? This is okay, it's the end of that first take, which we're not going to use. So this scene would play out like this. Let's work on it. So we'd cut something around there. With him just starting to put his leg up. Hang on, he comes in. Yeah, I think on him standing up is probably the way to go with this. Because I want to make sure we get enough time to see him like that. Yeah, I think with the right sound cues we can do a good job establishing. It's weird listening to this without sound, but with the right sound cues, I think we can establish the uh, yeah, with the right sound cues, I think we can establish in the music. I think we can establish what's going on there. Nice little bit of a sting, like a little bit of music there. Cool. And then we switch that, and then we drop that in with the beginning, and we're all set. Cool. So that'll be our scene, and the movie starts with this shot. Sounds of a party, a little bit of movement behind the windows there, and then he comes in. Yeah. And let's see if I start with. Okay, if I start this exactly at 15 minutes. We see Arthur 7 seconds in. I think that's pretty good. It gives us 7 seconds to establish the party, establish sound effects, so on and so forth, and then we get some sound effects of his feet, and there he is. Cool. Nice little bit of lighting on him. Yeah, maybe there's a couple frames to trim off of this, but not many. I think this movement is just good. This beat this with the music. I think this scene will be good. And it's weird. It's weird only having my voice to go through this. He comes up there. Cool. All right. So out of curiosity, even though this is in the wrong spot technically, I'm doing this sort of backwards because I forgot to move those markers. We're coming in. Wow, 14 minutes and 59 seconds. That's not bad for a first cut, especially for all right. So we have a 10-page or 11-page script, 10 and a half pages. Cuts off at the end of that. 10 and a half pages. Um, let's see. Real quick notes on the description. Exterior estate night. a man, Arthur, 20s, derelict and hopeful, sneaks up to a wealthy estate. There's a party at one end of the house. The lights are off on the opposite end of the house. A car drives down the road. Arthur moves towards the house. He does not see a light turn off upstairs. So that's all we got. So that's how this scene plays out. She crosses. He comes up. Light goes off like that. Click. Yeah, let me try the other shot of that just to see how it works in context. Because I'm starting to agree. I think I agree with Elena. Those lights just are off a tiny bit too short. They're on a little bit, tiny bit too long, and I think the ones come in this one come off a little bit too quick. But that might be the better option here. Paste. Let's see how's this one starting. This one starts with him as coming in as a shadow, so this one should start in the same spot. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, right about there. A couple of frames off. Let's go ahead and cut that. Nope, I'm going back to my original thought. I think it's more noticeable in the than we've got, even though it's a little bit late. I think it's more noticeable there. I think that's a little better. Paste. Back to the assembly cut. So yeah, once again, 1459. That's not bad for a first cut. There's always going to be stuff we trim down and stuff we clear out and so on and so forth and smooth. And there is that whole I let the safe sit there and be opened for 10 minutes. Probably cut this a little bit shorter, so we'll lose it another few seconds, so on and so forth. But that is, yeah. We just finished the rough cut of B52. All right. Whew. We just finished it, and we're coming up on 2 hours on this stream, and it's almost 2:30, which is perfect. So, yeah. God. All right. Cool. Yeah. Rough cut of B52 is together. And that's kind of fun. It's kind of fun that we worked through so much of this. I mean, we did the last what 5 minutes of this movie in yeah, we did the last. I mean, that's crazy to think that like Rogers or not Rogers, Robert's death is 11 currently 11 minutes, even more actually, because we got the that beginning. So it really kind of comes in closer to the end, even though it took us so long to get to that point because we were building to it and how we just yeah, I love this. It's also like realizing all right, so on a in an 11 page script, Robert dies or gets stabbed on page 9. So there's like he literally stabbed almost exact. It's halfway down the page, almost exactly 2 pages from the end. Um, so that's in a 10.5 page script in a 15 minute. So so 10.5 pages. He gets stabbed halfway down page 9. So yeah, yeah. So for this, I think equivalent wise, pacing wise, it's I think we have a slightly slower pace right now than we do on the page, for certain moments. But yeah, that's kind of proportionally through the script, him getting stabbed at 11 and a half minutes. I think proportionally is actually pretty good. We're kind of turning every page and like yeah, it's like the what's the end of page one in the script would be the end of page one and a half, or the end of it would be minute one and a half, and so on and so forth. Um, Obviously, that's not a perfect metric because there's more to it than that, and there's some bits that go on longer, some bits that stay shorter. Um, but yeah, guys, we got a movie together. We got the first sort of section part of the movie. So yeah, yeah, we will uh, probably be back on Monday night. Not sure what I'm going to be working on. I might be fine tuning some of this. I might be working on Devil's Playground some more. I'll keep you updated. But yeah, could just jump on stream and talk about some of the pre-production stuff and my organization on here because I've kind of been wanting to do that. But yeah, that's where we're at. Obviously, the other thing is next week we're going to be doing more Alaska photo edits. If not Monday, definitely Tuesday. So more of that to come and more of that to do. So if you enjoyed last night's stream of the Alaska photos and the glaciers and the incredibly sexy duck, yeah, that's all. That's a thing that'll be coming up. All right, I'm gonna jump back to me real quick and just to close this out. But yeah, okay. Whew. Thank you as always for joining. Thank you so much for coming on this journey. It's kind of cool that there's not this is kind of the most complete version I've done where we start with a film and go to the end. Um, we start and I think there's almost none of this that I haven't edited on stream. I've done some tweaks and some little bits, kind of before and after the streams, but this is kind of the first time I've really done it all, done the whole the like vast majority of it on stream and done live, and that's cool. I'm happy to be able to share this. Um, so yeah. And it's also cool. I'm sitting here looking at the script and just realizing like it's got like my handwritten notes on it that I wrote back in February and March, and just to sit here and think that all right, this thing is coming to fruition. Um, we should have some stuff from Devil's Playground soon with sound and so on, so we'll see where that goes. We should have some stuff. Funnel Web is almost done. The sound on that is coming together, so Funnel Web will be is almost done. I haven't announced this on stream yet, but it's been on my Insta and stuff. Slight, the short horror film that I shot like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now. Um, got into its first film festival. So if you're in New Jersey and want to check out the A Light in the Dark Film Festival, that's where it's playing. It's also going to play on a local TV affiliate, and I think there's an online thing as well. There's A Light in the Dark is really good with making sure people trying to not just you don't just see the movie if you show up. They make it they do a good job trying to get it out there in front of as many people as possible. But yeah, so thank you all so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of this as always. Um, I got kind of an early morning, so I'm gonna jump off. But anyway, Jess, I hope your panty raid went well. I hope Ross Perot's biggest fan didn't get you. Um, and yeah, looking forward to next week and to seeing what we come up with. So, all right, yeah, stay safe, be well, have a good night, have a great weekend, and yeah, we will start this again next week with maybe a new project, maybe some tweaks to an old project, and maybe maybe a special guest or two doing your thing. Good night.